community are still trying to make sense of what happened here.
How
Kelly.
right you are, Casey. Casey Stegall reporting live from Tucson, Arizona.
All right, kind of switching gears here. From coast to coast, car dealers are trying to get back on track after the recession slammed the brakes on business. If you've been shopping around for a new set of wheels, then you know interest rates are at record lows these days. So low, in fact, the dealerships are practically making no profit at all. Is this a smart way to build brand loyalty, or could it lead to more trouble for the American car industry somewhere down the road, so to speak? Let's ask David Nelson, Chief Strategist of Belray Asset Management. Excuse me. So it sounds like one of these, I mean, we're talking 0% interest.
We are.
Like nada. It kind of sounds like one of those, if it's too good, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But you're saying, no, this is real.
It's real. But let's not start shedding tears for General Motors and Ford.
Why?
Well, General Motors, you know, is probably going to generate $12 billion in free cash flow each year for the next 5 years. By 2015, they could be sitting on a cash hoard of nearly $70 billion. That's serious money.
Well, but they would make a lot more money if they were charging interest, don't you think?
You know what? It's a loss leader for them. And when I first got this assignment, I decided to get my numbers straight, and I talked to my contacts in the auto industry. For example, in Pennsylvania, you can purchase a General Motors Equinox for maybe $29,000. The dealer's got about $25,000 in that car. He's walking away with $4,000 profit, whether you finance it or not.
Right.
Remember, it's the parent company that's doing the financing.
So a buyer could really save some serious money.
Absolutely.
And buying used cars these days, what's the point?
There isn't a point. Right now, if your credit is good, absolutely should be buying a new car.
That's actually the point that I was going to make. I mean, this 0% sounds good, but it applies to the people who have really strong credit.
It's true, but remember, it's not like a credit card, because you do have the repo man. If you default on the car,
right,
they're going to take it away from you.
Now, you can't refinance anymore.
No, I
used to be able to
haven't seen
refinance with cars, right?
I did that once a number of years ago. I don't know if you can still do that anymore. I doubt it.
How do you think automakers are doing overall these days?
They're doing great.
Why is it? They've streamlined?
Well, they streamlined, but keep in mind, they're getting it now, just like the rest of industrial America. They restructured, they reduced their headcount. There are way less dealerships in America today. And you know what? Profits are up, margins are up because costs are down. It's as simple as that.
How about foreign versus American?
I think the American car makers are doing far better.
There have been some really incredible cars that have come out.
You're going to see monstrous numbers coming from Ford and GM coming up.
Really?
Absolutely.
So how would you advise trying to get the deal through? You would advise trying to go through the dealership, obviously, versus going to the bank. Because it used to be that you would go to the bank,
and the banks can't compete anymore. There's no way for them to compete. They're going to be at 5.9. The dealership's going to be at 4.2. The banks can't compete in the arena because they have absolutely no profit incentive to do so. They're not going to make any money on the car like the dealer is.
Kelly bought a car in October, and I bought one in November. Why weren't they doing this back then?
I hadn't been given this story yet, and I really didn't know it then.
How long do you expect this to last, this sort of freebie?
It's hard to say. I mean, obviously, they've got the wind at their back right now. I'm sure at some point it'll change, and at some point the foreign companies are going to get more competitive here. But right now, Ford and GM have a real leg up.
So bottom line is it's a buyer's market.
It is definitely a buyer's market today.
Like the housing market. Buyer's market. Oh, all right. Well, thanks for that information.
Oh, you're welcome.
Too bad it's too late for us, Cal.
Yeah, it is too late.
Oh, well.
All right, but it's never too late to be reunited with your family. She vanished from a New York City hospital more than 2 decades ago. Well, now she has been